Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, you join us for the final race of the night here at Motive for the Touring Car Championship. This is the penultimate round of the season and it's looking like it's going to be John Boy who's going to have one hand on the trophy after tonight, with Jay, his closest championship rival, retiring from that second race. He'll be starting in second place though, right behind Ollie, so he'll have a good chance of trying to win this final race of the night, but John Boy's leading the championship. I've calculated at least to be in excess of 70 points. Obviously we'll see once the standings have been filled in after this, but he's got a very, very healthy lead indeed. Although saying that, it won't be 70 points his championship lead, because I think Cobble will have moved through into second place in the standings after taking the win in the second race here tonight. But with that being said, he was a long way behind to begin with, so I think John Boy is going to be very, very close to that title now. But nonetheless, we're coming down towards Maggots and Beckett's here on the opening lap. It's Ollie leading from Jay as Jay's coming under pressure now from Parpoop. Parpoop already attacking on him here as they come down towards Maggots and Beckett's. He's too far back to be able to go for a move just there. You've got Aussie there in fourth ahead of Big Blue, TMW followed by Big Blue, and then you've got Mike there who's running ahead of Potter Brown, followed by John Boy as Potter Brown, they're getting a bit out of shape. John Boy there swooping through up into P8 there. You've got Cobb there behind them ahead of Dirt Rally, followed by Craig, and Doris Steers dropped off at the back of the pack a little bit here in the first few corners. But Jay looking to make a move here. He's got ahead of Ollie, so Jay making a move for P1 into Stowe corner. A bit of contact there between them. There's Ollie there in the sandwich there. 12 people getting pushed a little bit wide onto the grass. Jay there makes the move for the lead. He leads coming down towards Club Corner. Excellent stuff there from Jay. Was a bit aggressive, but managed to squeeze his way through. Ollie there having to defend from Aussie as Parpoop has lost other places there down to P5. He lost out to Aussie and TMW due to that contact there. Ollie was in the sandwich. Had nowhere to go. Ollie there squeezing across Aussie, and Aussie there onto the grass and keeps it out of the wall. I'll tell you what, that was a close call there. He might have had a bit of damage there as he sort of brushed up against the wall, but TMW moving through ahead of Aussie. Albi up into third place, and Aussie's going to have Parpoop up his inside as well. And look at this, you've got Big Blue now trying to make a move on them as well as they come into the chicane, and Aussie keeps it around the outside of Parpoop, but for the time being holds on to fourth place. But that was a close call there for Aussie after that contact with Ollie coming down the straight towards Club. But it's Jay from Ollie from Team MW, the top three at the moment, with Aussie there running in fourth ahead of Parpoop, followed by Big Blue, Mike there in seventh place ahead of John Boy, followed by Dirt Rally, who's got big damage there on the front of the car. That is some hugely debilitating damage there. Obviously Dirt Rally started the evening off with a win in the first race of the night, but the second race and the third race now has not gone to a similar sort of standard for him. But we see Craig there moving ahead of Cobb. Cobb's got damage there on the front of the car as well. That could give Jay a bit of impetus in that battle for second in the championship. But currently Team W within just over a second behind Jay at the moment. You've got Ollie there in third ahead of Aussie, followed by Park from Big Blue, with Mike, John Boy, Dirt Rally. They're all kind of packed into a short space here as they come down the hanger straight. As you've got Ollie there looking to the inside here on Aussie as they come into Stowe. Oh, bit of contact there between them, and Ollie squeezing his way through, and Aussie there losing out to Parpoop now. So Aussie Albi down to P5, and Big Blue there on the inside of Aussie as they go into Club. And Mike gives Big Blue a bit of a tap there as they came out onto the straight as well. But John Boy there squeezing through up ahead of Big Blue up into P6, and now focus on Aussie just up ahead of him here. But in the meantime, it's Jay who is out the front, currently controlling proceedings here in this opening few laps of this final race of the night. Oh, as Aussie gets it wrong, going for the chicane, and that's given John Boy P5, Big Blue 6th, and Mike 7th there following him through. So Aussie there dropping down a few places. What is Potter Brown doing? Let's pretend we didn't see that. But Jay's still leading the race. Team MW though, close on the back of Jay here. Jay coming under pressure now as they come into Beckett. Jay's obviously led the race since the opening stages here when he took the lead going into Stowe Corner on the opening lap, but he's coming under heavy pressure here from Team MW as they come out of Chapel onto the hanger straight once again here. As they all go, you can see in the background there you've got Parpoop and Ollie side by side. Ollie looking to the inside in towards Stowe Corner as Parpoop goes to cover him off there. The BMW straight line speed was closing but couldn't get there in time. Potter Brown into the pits at the end of the first lap. Doris Steers already been in, I think. Yep, he has, so he's now got a brand new car which he can enjoy for the rest of this race. But Ollie still attacking on the back of Parpoop going into Club. Ollie a little bit wide there. John Boy might look to try and get a cut back here, but the BMW's got such good straight line speed that you need to pretty much, the McGann needs to absolutely get the best traction off of these slow corners to get past the BMW in a straight line. Big Blue here, looking to the outside of John Boy in towards the final chicane. Can he go around the outside here? John Boy's got that one covered off on the inside for the time being. Mike's still waiting in the wings on the back of this train. Always Ollie there cuts the chicane, straight lines it there going out through Woodcote. But still in the pack, still hasn't lost time in this one. Jay and Team MW out the front, 0.3 of a second between those two as they go through Cops Corner. Team MW here will be sensing opportunity to take a win. He's had some good pace here tonight at Silverstone Classic. Let's not forget, obviously in the first race or in the first practice session he was only 0.3 off of the fastest time. So you know, he's got some pace around this circuit, and he's currently keeping Jay very much honest here as they come out of Chapel Curve once again. Jumping on board with him here as they go down the Hanger Straight here on lap 5 of this race, just over halfway through this final race of the night, and he's getting that closing speed here all the way down towards Stowe Corner, but Jay's going to have that one covered for now. As Big Blue there looking to the inside of John Boy into Stowe, but too far back. But I'll tell you what though, Jay currently running in P1 with Cobb down in 9th, his rival for second in the championship. If Jay can get second in this championship, that will be a really good achievement when you consider the fact that Jay spent a few seasons here at Motive. He spent a few seasons in the wilderness. Always there's contact there in the background between Ollie and Ozzy, and Ollie just comes up with that one slightly better there than Ozzy. But I'll say, I mean, Jay spent a few seasons where he was quite anonymous here at Motive. Obviously, he won his championship back in season 10 here on Project Cars 2 in the touring cars, but then spent a few seasons where he was kind of mid-pack in some of the races. But then this season he's kind of had that resurgence, he's had that bounce back to form where it's been the Jay of old that we were so used to in the past. And you know, second in the championship would be a huge achievement for him this season if he can do that. But yeah, currently Cobb down in 9th place, so Jay's outscoring him by a considerable amount, by 16 points in this final race of the night as things stand. Team MW though still trying to throw the kitchen sink at Jay here as they go through Beckett. It's a bit of a lock up there from Jay. There's Park Pooper, John Boy, Big Blue with Mike and Ollie. Always Mike getting a tap in the rear from Ozzy. These two, sorry, Ollie, yeah, getting a tap from Ozzy. These two have been loving each other a little bit too much here tonight. I wonder if they might want to get a room, as my mic has just fallen over. I do apologise. You guys on the stream would have just heard an absolute earth-shattering thud there. I know that because I've watched some of these streams back, and I know whenever the mic falls over, it's an absolutely shattering sound. I do apologise for that. It should be okay now. It shouldn't happen again. I hope it doesn't happen again. But Jay there a little bit wide going out of Club Corner. Team MW is still keeping him very much on his toes here at the moment. Ozzy's moved back ahead of it, Ollie once again, up into 7th place. Big Blue still just ahead of Mike as Mike's still trying to attack on the back of him here as they come into the final sector. As Jay and Team MW coming into the chicane here, and they're about to start lap 7 of this race. So we're going to have 4 more laps here in this race. As Mike's still close on the back of Big Blue. Ollie's moved back ahead of Ozzy. Where's Ollie? Oh, Ozzy spinned it. Ozzy Albion, he's rage quit from the race. He must have had huge damage there. And Ozzy Albion out of this one. What a shame there. Did he have contact with Ollie? I'm not sure. Wouldn't be massively surprising if they did come together. I don't know why I say that. I mean, it's quite a negative way of looking at it, but I just wouldn't be surprised if they did crash into each other. I don't know why. But nonetheless, Jay and TMW still running 1 and 2 at the moment in the background there. Big Blue looked like he was on the grass there. As Mike's still looking closer on the back of him. Mike flashing his lights, maybe saying, "Come on, mate, that was a bit of a track limits from you there." Big Blue very shaky there on the entry to Stowe, and he's gone wide on the exit onto the grass there. And Mike might be able to get a run here coming down towards Club Corner. Here we come. Looks like Mike just a little bit too far away at the moment. Big Blue holding on to that one. Oh, he goes wide. Oh, I tell you what, they both go wide there. They're both mowing the lawn. And Big Blue, I think, got a worse exit than Mike. Mike's going to swoop around the outside of him as they come through Abbey, and Mike back up into 5th place here. Good little dice between those two, and currently Mike now in P5 in this race. Jay still leads the race ahead of Team MW, but Park Pooper has closed up onto the back of these whilst these two have been battling for the lead. It's brought Park Pooper into it, a treat here, and could he be fancying a race win here tonight? We saw Dirt Rally take the win in the first race of the night. Cobb then brought it back a little bit in the second race, but we've got Jay, Team MW and Park Hooper fighting it out. Jay obviously one of the championship contenders this season, but Team MW and Park Hooper, neither of these two have really had too many opportunities to take wins this season in the touring cars. They'll be seeing this as a huge opportunity here tonight. But Jay currently has got things under control at the moment. John Boy within 3 seconds of the leaders, so they're coming out of Chapel Curve here. Who's going to throw caution to the wind? Obviously, Jay's still fighting for second in the championship with Cobb. Could still mathematically win the championship, but it's probably not going to happen. As Park Hooper looking to the outside of Team MW, Team MW had to get out of it massively there at the end of the hangar straight to avoid running into the back of Jay. Jay went for a late move to cover him off, and that almost gave Park Hooper a chance to swoop around the outside there. But Team MW holding on to that one for now. There's John Boy running in P4, a few seconds clear of Big Blue, who's got Cobb behind him. There's Mike, and then a few seconds back to Ollie, who's in 8th place, and Craig a long way behind in 9th. There's not been a final race of the night for him at all. Dirt Rally there, struggling here in P10. Doris Steer still going, and so is Pot the Brown. Obviously we lost Aussie in the early stages here. Very unlike Aussie to retire from the race, as Team MW there trying to defend now from Park Hooper. But this is going to allow Jay a chance to just skip away a little bit here. With these two battling behind him, it could allow him to just disappear up the road as Park Hooper looking to the inside of Team MW into Cops Corner, but he's too far away from Team MW. They're going very wide there onto the grass, and Park Hooper seizes on that. Did not need a second invitation there. Takes the place up into P2. Team MW just made a little mistake there. It was all Park Hooper needed. And it's Park Hooper now in second place, now just over a second behind Jay. But is he going to be able to keep Jay on his toes and give him a bit of a fight here in the final 2 laps of this race? John Boy still closing on this lead pack, but I think he's got too much. He's got too much to do and too little time to do it. So I think that ship may have sailed here for John Boy in this one for the race win at least. But as we said before, he's got one hand on the championship trophy here tonight as John Boy, not tonight, but he's got one hand on that championship trophy, and it will most likely be next week at Donington. I reckon he could even wrap it up after the first race next week, because after the first race next week there'll be 68 points on the table. I think he's got maybe he's got about 60-70 points, and maybe it might go to the second race, but I think he might have it wrapped up before we go for the final race next week. But Jay nonetheless has still got Park Hooper within a second of him. Just Team MW looking close to like a Park Hooper trying to come back at him here after Park Hooper made the move with him on that previous lap. Here we come into the chicane then. We're about to start the final lap of the race here, as Team MW getting a little bit out of shape there, which has just given Park Hooper a bit of a moment there to just be let off the hook. And I tell you what, Park Hooper has closed up on Jay. Has Jay made a mistake here in the final part of the lap? Because we have got a 3-way battle for the lead once again here. 7/10 of a second separating them. John Boy only 2 seconds behind, so I think Jay has made a mistake, and this has now brought a lot of drivers back into this fight here. John Boy, the fastest man. Actually, no, he wasn't the fastest man. Cobb was the fastest man, a 1:30.4. And Team MW's got back ahead of Park Hooper here, coming down towards Beckett's. Down the inside he goes. He's made that move there brilliantly as Team MW. Park Hooper though might be able to get the exit coming through Chapel Curve as they come down the hangar straight, or they're coming out onto the hangar straight now. Park Hooper here can't go to the outside because Team MW covers that one off. They're on board with Park Hooper now as they come down the hangar straight. He's going to look to the inside, coming down towards Stowe Corner. He looks like he's just a little bit too far back to Sem 1. The straight line speed doesn't look like it's there for Park Hooper. Team MW's got a quicker car down the straights. Oh, it's Jay! Huge slide there from Jay coming through Stowe. Very, very close to losing the car, but he's still got hold of it at the moment. Just a few corners left here in this final race of the night. I think Jay's going to have it done unless he makes a simply monumental catastrophe at the final few corners. Jay obviously could have won the championship coming into tonight, but had an absolute mare in the second race, which has pretty much put pay to his chances. But he's still in a battle for second in the championship with Cobb. We know John Boy pretty much now has it within his grasp, but coming into the final few corners, Jay knows he needs to outscore Cobb here by a few points. Here we come. He slides it into that chicane. Here he comes. It's going to be Jay to take the win in the final race of the night. What a great performance it was here from him. Team MW takes second ahead of Park Hooper, who completes the podium, followed by John Boy, who crosses the line in 4th, with Big Blue 5th ahead of Cobb 6th, then Mike over in 7th. And they will be a long way clear of Ollie, who seems to be playing some kind of theatrics here in P8. He's not too far ahead of Craig though, so he might lose out to Craig if he continues to do stuff like that. But what a race that was from Jay. Well executed, kept it cool, and scores the points over Cobb, scores 10 points over Cobb in this final race of the night, which could be very beneficial for him in that battle for second in the championship. Ollie takes 8th, Craig over in 9th, and they are a long way clear of Dirt Rally, who obviously had damage and he's still got damage. Doris has obviously been into the pits and to get his damage fixed, and then he's gone and picked up some more damage as well whilst he's at it. So Dirt Rally and Doris have been in the wars. Pot the Brown, it looks like he's a few laps down, and with a car that I think the scrapyard would hesitate to accept. But Dirt Rally coming into the final chicane for the final time here. We mustn't forget the fact that he did win the first race of the night with a really impressive drive. But P9 for him, not the race in the final race. But that is that, guys, for the penultimate round of season 15 here on Project Cars 2, here for the World Touring Car Championship at Motive on Project Cars 2. It's Jay taking the win ahead of Team MW, with Park Hooper completing the podium. Excellent racing from all the guys here tonight. Thank you to all the drivers for taking part, and if you did enjoy, please do share it with friends, families and all those associates. And yeah, we will see you obviously next week for the finale of the season. Championship looking like it's John Boy's to lose at this point, but battle for second place definitely on the cards between Jay and Cobb. Lots on the line still, so yeah, definitely tune in next week to see what happens. But from me, it's a very good night, and we will see you in the next one. Good night.